Welcome and congratulations on your new Timney trigger. My name is Alex. I'm here to help guide you through the installation process of the Ruger American Gen 2 SKU 642C trigger assembly, as well as give a few tech tips where needed to make the installation process seamless. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you're wondering if you have a Gen 2 Ruger American rifle or a Gen 1, the easiest way to tell is the position of the safety. The Gen 2 is going to have a 3-position safety with a bolt lock on the 3rd position. Middle will actually allow you to open the bolt, but is still unsafe. And then your fire position. Before installation of the Timney trigger, we're going to make sure that the ammunition source bolt is open, no magazine, chamber is empty, and we can go ahead and remove the bolt and remove the stock. To remove the stock, we have these 2 takedown screws. Just loosen those up and the stock will come apart from the action. To remove the trigger assembly from the action, there's going to be these 2 roll pins that can be removed. I like to drive them out from the left side with the safety, out to the right. When doing so, you want to use a punch that is slightly smaller than the diameter of the pin hole. Now be careful, only get around on the edges of it and not get in the center of the roll pin. It will open up in the middle. With the trigger assembly removed from the action by removing those 2 roll pins, we're going to remove the bolt lock and safety button and connecting bar. These components are going to be used on the new trigger assembly. Easiest way to do this is to put it on safe, apply a little bit of pressure to the safety bolt lock pin to not lose the plunger and spring that's behind it, and then use the same pin or a flathead screwdriver to go ahead and pull up on this E-clip here. That safety plunger and spring, you can flip it over and get them out as one piece. You do not want to lose this spring. Now it is time to install these components on the Timney trigger, your Gen 2. We'll start out putting the safety button in with your transfer bar. Your safety plunger and spring, you want the spring in first to go through this hole on the side here. And now your bolt lock pin can slide through and connect the 3 together. To confirm proper functionality, I like to go through each section of the safety selector and make sure that it lines up with the detent. If it does not, the safety button will probably need to be reversed. It may be in backwards, and that would not line these up. Now flip it over and we can reinstall the E-clip. Slide it on there. Just like so. Before we install it in the action, I'm going to do a quick function check. Make sure that the safety actuates and moves properly in all 3 positions. When it's fully on safe, your bolt lock pin should stick up from the top. And then in the middle, it'll have a little bit of clearance there, and it is still on safe. There is no movement to the trigger. And then final, when it's on fire, the trigger itself moves. Now we can go ahead and reinsert it in the action and get these 2 pins reinstalled. Now we will do a function check with the bolt assembly. Now that we have our 2 roll pins reinstalled, you want to make sure that it is in the fire position or at least middle position. Otherwise, the bolt will not be able to be reinserted into the action while the bolt lock pin is actuated. So make sure it's kind of in the middle there. We can go ahead and reinsert the bolt. Close that. Now with it being on safe, and on the third position, bolt does not open. Move it to the middle, still on safe, but your bolt can open. And lastly, in the fire position, you want to make sure it releases the firing pin. Nice clean break. Now that that functions properly, we can go ahead and drop this back in the stock. Now that we have the action reinstalled in the stock, we can go ahead and perform our final function check. Want to make sure everything functions exactly the same as it did with just a barreled action installed in the stock. So what we'll do, go through, make sure it is clear, cycle the bolt, put it in the third position, safety, bolt locks, does not move the trigger. In the middle position, still does not move the trigger. However, you can open your bolt. And lastly, fire position, make sure you have that nice clean break. And that's it. I hope this helped you with the installation process of the Ruger American Gen 2 642C trigger. If you have any remaining questions, our world-class customer service agents are more than happy to help. Just give us a call, 623-223-1111, or head over to our website and click the yellow Contact Us button on the right-hand side. If not, congratulations on installing your Timney trigger. You can now go shoot with ease knowing you've got the world's finest trigger in your hands.